Lifers and loved ones, thank you so much for watching and welcome back. The topic discussion for today's video, the reverse discard. We'll get right into it with no hesitation, no time to waste. As always, before we get started, I'd like to preface my comments by saying I am not a clinical professional. I am not a psychoanalyst. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm none of those things. I'm just someone who is sharing of myself and sharing my experience. And I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know based on my experience, being in a relationship or dealing with a toxic or narcissistic person. Okay, so we'll get right into it. I want to take this time as well at the beginning of the video to thank everyone for the growth of the channel and for the support, the comments, the tapping, the like. It is much appreciated. It is a great help to the channel. So continue that energy. When you pour into me, I pour into you, and I need that love. We're building community here, and it's not just about me. It's about you. And it's not just about you, it's about me, and we're all on a journey together to heal. And this is a safe space where we can share of each other, we can be heard, we can share our experiences, we can engage. And your commenting and liking really helps the channel. It gives us visibility and causes, YouTube to push that content out. So it is definitely appreciated, and it'll reach people that really need it and are also looking for support and looking for understanding based on what they're going through. All right. Thank you so much for that. I don't take it for granted. The reverse discard. As we know, the 3 stages of a toxic or narcissistic relationship, right? The love bomb, the devaluation phase, and the discard. Okay. So it's just a technique that they use. As we know, control and manipulation is always the goal. All right. And I can say for myself, my personal experience, there were multiple discards before I finally educated myself, reinforced my boundaries, fortified myself, and understood that it wasn't a healthy situation I could remain in. Okay. So after gaining understanding and knowing what it was time for me to make my move. It was time for me to, make some light changes and hold myself accountable so that I could, remove myself from that unhealthy situation. Sometimes it'll be a situation where you'll have to, kind of reverse engineer the discard, if you will. And I experienced that in a sense personally for myself as well. But what I want to talk about is the reverse discard, which was actually inspired by a comment that I got from a viewer. I'll go ahead and make sure that I put the comment up on the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and read it for you all as well. And this is coming obviously from the perspective of the viewer. Okay. Finding us while planning the inevitable breakup is so true. Looking back on it, he said something once, a few months into knowing him. A friend was having trouble within their marriage with her husband. I told him about it, and I asked him as a man, tell me, why would a man act like that? And in a split second, he answered, he's treating her with disdain so that she'll leave him. That always stuck with me for some reason. The reverse discard. Okay. So regardless of how many other sources of supply there are and what they're going through with those people, if you're the main source of supply, and they're looking to create the discard, but they want to control the narrative as always, and also understanding that they're going to want to be able to try to come back. This is really just them shelving you. All right. The discard is never permanent in a narcissist or toxic person's mind. They feel that they own us. They feel that they're entitled to your energy. So rest assured, whenever they discard you, 9 times out of 10, I would say they're doing so with the intention of coming back. Now, sometimes things happen that are unbeknownst to you, that you can't see, that you have no awareness of, and they may not necessarily come back if something changed behind the scene. That just depends. But for the most part, they're doing so expecting to be able to come back, or at least wanting to maintain the option of being able to come back. So what the reverse discard allows them to do, and this is based on my own personal experience, they back you into a corner. They completely disrespect your boundaries. They have no regard for your beliefs, your morals, like your state of mind, your personal space, safety, and respect. Like none of those are a concern to them. But what is a concern to them is being able to control the narrative. All right. So the reverse discard basically backs you into a corner, and it puts you in a position where you have to leave. Like just in order to maintain your self-respect, like you have to go. They're pushing you and pushing you and pushing you to either you break or you leave, right? So that's what we end up doing. That's what happened in my particular case. I can say in my experience, they put me in a position I had it was really no other outcome. And I say that from a place of just loving myself and understanding that this situation was toxic. It was unhealthy, and it was only going to continue to get progressively worse. It was not going to get better, And around that time, I was also, I was already in the fact-finding phase, and I was already beginning to gain understanding on what it was that I was dealing with. So I wasn't completely caught off guard by it. I was in a position where I was able to look at the discard as a blessing. I was able to take advantage of that. I was able to use that as a welcome distraction. I was able to use that as a welcome distraction so that I could make my exit. And that's exactly what I did. And I never looked back. And that's what I hope for us all. The 3 stages, that love bomb, that devaluation, and that discard, it can be brutal. And, for some of us, we experienced a few discards before the one that finally, kind of broke the relationship for good. That was my experience. I found, based on my research and just interacting with people and educating myself, it's very rare that people are done with their toxic or narcissistic person on the very first discard. I feel like a lot of times throughout the relationship, they're breadcrumbing us, and not only just breadcrumbing you and leaving you just enough, but they're also kind of pushing you to see where your limits are and pushing you to see what it is that you'll tolerate and what it is that you can handle mentally, and they're also wanting to siphon as much supply from us as humanly possible. So it's I feel like as much as, the love bomb is a form of manipulation, and we know that it doesn't last, and they're just building us up to get us to let our guards down, and they're conditioning us to not say no to them and to just, capitulate and go along, with whatever their plan is. Because it's not going to last, during that time, they're also testing us. They're also pushing us. They're also downloading data about us. They're also fact finding. All right. They're figuring out where our limits are, what it is we'll tolerate and what we won't. They're watching how it is that we interact with other people as they're gaining that supply from us. And keep in mind, whether you're the main source of supply at that time or not, they're in different stages and phases of their toxic relationships with other people simultaneous to their connection to you. All right. Just because they're in a love bomb with you doesn't mean that they're in a love bomb with the other sources of supply that they're entertaining. Right? We don't know what stage or phase they're in with those other people. I mean, we're not even aware yet that that's happening. That kind of comes later. Right? So I wanted to talk about this and shout out to that viewer for the comment. Much appreciation and respect to you and salute to you. I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to ensure that, you had an awareness of it, so that depending on where you are and your connection and your relationship with the toxic person or narcissist, you'll be able to kind of readily identify this as it's happening. No narcissist is created equal. They're all a little different. The timing when they choose to take you from the love bomb into the devaluation and then discard is going to be different for everyone. And a lot of times that's determined by you. A lot of times that depends on you, and it's what you're willing to tolerate. It's what you can handle mentally. It's how long you allow them to disrespect and disregard your boundaries, but you're still allowing them to get that supply from you. You're still allowing them to be in your space and in your energy. So how long it lasts is determined by you a lot of times. And that's kind of what they can't account for. They're not sure until they've had an opportunity to kind of do those tests with you and plant those seeds. They're not quite sure. So that's something that they're always on the lookout for. You got to keep in mind, it's this may be your first time in a toxic or narcissistic relationship, and then you're gaining awareness about it, but they've done this before and they'll do it again. You aren't the first and you won't be the last, and you aren't the only even. You know what I mean? So they're professionals at this. They do this. They enter into these connections knowing that they're going to go bad. They know that they're going to implode. They know that they're not going to last. It's just a matter of how long they can manipulate you and control you while still gaining supply from you. They know most people won't tolerate that for an extended length of time, but some will. And they're hoping that you do. They're hoping that you're there forever. They may just want to add you to their shelf, to their sources of supply, so that they can always flick you on and flick you off, turn you on and turn you off like a switch. Put me in the game, coach. I'm ready. Like, put you in the game, activate you and deactivate you for a while, and kind of maneuver you around. See, they buy, sell, and trade people. That's what narcissists and toxic people do. They buy, sell, and trade people. And we're objects to them. And they're entitled to us. They're entitled to you. They're entitled to our energy. So it's our responsibility to hold ourselves accountable and take our power back and get out of that toxic situation. So be on the lookout for that. And please do drop it down in the comment section. Let me know your experience. Let's engage a bit. Share your experience. Let me know what your discard was like. And if it was a situation where you actually just, after an extended amount of time or after a time realizing that the situation you in wasn't going to work, you went ahead and just planned your exit and went no contact? Was it a situation where you kind of had to reverse engineer a discard so that it seemed like it was them discarding you, but it was really you seeing what things were about and wanting your way out? Or was this like a reverse discard where they disrespected you so much and pushed you and pushed you and pushed you so much until you had really no choice, just on a human level, like you had to leave? So let me know down in the comment section if that was your experience as far as the discard. And, you know, I'll give you that energy back as always, and I'll continue to share it myself. And I appreciate you. So it's important that you're aware as you're in this relationship with this toxic person and this narcissist. Like, it's important that you come to learn as you come to a place where you're ready to, again, hold yourself accountable and you can reconnect with yourself. You want more for yourself. You want better. You're starting to connect with that voice inside of you again and your intuition. It's so important to trust your gut and listen to your intuition when that's happening. Like, and you start to awaken and you understand, okay, we got to get out. This isn't going to work. You're educating yourself. You're arming yourself. And it's important, to be ready to make that move, because the toxic person or the narcissist, like, they're not going to end it. They'll let it go on as long as you let it. And the longer you allow it, the less they respect you. The less they respect you, it'll come to a point where they're not even trying to hide certain things anymore. They're not even trying to hide certain things. And sometimes they'll deliberately, put things in front of your face for you to see them, because they want your reaction. They want to see you in pain. They want you to cry. They want to see that hurting you. And they love it. It's like no other for them, that sense of manipulation and control. And because they're insecure, to see someone hurt and in pain because of something that they did or something that they set in motion, that toxicity within them is just something that they enjoy so much and they thrive on it and they live for it. It's the punishment business, as we previously discussed. If you hadn't had a chance to check out, some of those other videos, I'll link up on the screen, and you can go ahead and watch those at your leisure. But the punishment business, that's what I call it, and it's until you come to a place where you're aware of what's going on in your toxic connection, they're planning and plotting step by step. Toxic relationships tend to happen on a cycle. So as you get your strength back, right, depending on where you are and what stage you're in, you get your strength back and you go fact finding and you're educating yourself and you're researching, you'll come to a place where you're learning what's happening. And depending on how long you remain in a connection, you can almost anticipate what's happening within that toxic connection, but it's very cyclical. Usually toxic relationships, you can tell. But hopefully we're not there long enough to even be able to do that, because the idea is, to be in a situation that's healthy and where we can feel whole and where we can be safe and be enriched, even if that means being on our own for a time, which isn't always a bad thing, So keep that in mind. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and speak on the reverse discard so that you understand that there is a difference. A discard is a discard, but at the same time, the reverse discard has a bit of a different texture to it, a different feel to it. And it pretty much allows them to play victim with you later so that they can come back, and they can say, hey, it was you that left me. What is it that we can do to get back? Like, what can I do to make it right? How can we fix this? And they may even project and gaslight you a bit and try to cast some of the blame on you about the breakup, because they did the reverse discard. And since the reverse discard, it was successful in their connection with the last supply, they expect that it's going to be successful with you. See, narcissists tend to deal with us and make decisions based on what worked in the past. They're not treating us like we're individuals with original thought, with our own beliefs, with our own tenets and constitutions that govern us. Like, no, we're objects, inanimate objects. So because they don't have the foresight to see us as individuals and free thinkers, they interact and they implement techniques based on what worked with the last supply that they were with, or other suppliers that they're currently entertaining. All right. So that's something to be mindful of too. But whatever worked for them doesn't work for us. That was them. That's not us. That's not you. All right. So that was my experience with the reverse discard, just basically backing me into a corner where I had no choice just to disrespect, and even attempting situations of triangulation unsuccessfully. Because by that time I was already educating myself, I already had an understanding of what it was. So I just used it to my advantage. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, drop those down in the comment section for me. Even if you just say hi or let me know what city or state you're from, or even just want to send some emojis, drop it down in the comment section. I really do appreciate that love. If you want to send me an email, you want a bit of anonymity, if you have any recommendations for a video that you would like to see on the channel, send an email to askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. That is askbizlifestyle@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and make that video. Questions, I'd like to do a Q&A soon here on the channel. So if you have any specific questions, and this is a lifestyle-based channel, so it doesn't necessarily need to be in relation to, a toxic or narcissistic situation. You can ask a question about anything as long as it's done respectfully. You ask a question, I'll go ahead and answer that. I'll put those together and I'll make a Q&A, as I would like to give you all a bit more insight into me, who I am, what I'm into, and what inspires me and drives me to make these videos, right? I want you all to get to know me a bit better and vice versa. All right. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and drop me any questions or shoot me an email. Right. Also, I'd like for you all to be on the lookout for and support a new series that I'm going to be starting coming up here pretty soon. As us being in toxic connections with people is not all that we are. Life goes on, and there's so much more to you than that. And there's so much more to me than that. So please do support that content as you see that begin to pop up on the channel. And as that does, I'll let you all know, and you'll see it. You'll get the notifications, and I appreciate you for supporting that content as well. Check out the description. I like to pay homage to other content creators who helped me as I was more in the beginning stages of my journey of healing. So I thank those creators. So there's additional information in the description as well. Also, check out the About page on YouTube. All the links to my socials are there. I'm going to put my Instagram up on the screen. That is all lowercase letters, Worthy1212. Worthy1212 on Instagram. All right. Come by and see me. Come check out my pictures. I want to see your pictures and reels and quotes and all that funny stuff. Let's interact on Instagram as well. Links to my Cash App, to my PayPal are there. If you want to make a small donation to the channel, it would be much appreciated. And I'm truly grateful just for the love and for the support. And like I said, for engaging with me in the comment section and for hitting the like. It's appreciated. I'm humbled. I truly am. And I'm just a vessel, and I'm just here to serve and share myself in a way that's healthy. And we're building community and building a space where we can engage with one another, judgment free and feel safe. I want to go live with you all very soon. If that's something that you all would like to see, let me know that in the comment section too. If you would like that experience where we can go live, we can engage with each other, uplift each other, share of our experience. And we can even party, play some music, have a good time, and enjoy each other's company from time to time. If that's something you would like to do, and you're looking for a community and a space where you can be authentically you without any judgment, and just share and help uplift others, let me know that in the comment section, and we'll make that happen. I'm truly grateful. I'm truly grateful. And you're worthy, and your feelings are valid. Never forget that. I believe in you. So you be sure to do the same. Until next time. We out.